Several people asked me about the value of being a vegetarian and asked me to do a video on that. But I just want to caution this. I personally practice this. I also realize that being a vegetarian is not an end to everything. And everybody has this thing, well, if you're a vegetarian, then you're this humanitarian, this beautiful person, and everything comes together, and not eating animal makes you a beautiful person. I have to remind people that Charles Manson was a vegetarian, Adolf Hitler was a vegetarian, and so was Joseph Stalin. So it has nothing to do with ethics, morality, or anything else. You may become a vegetarian because of your personal commitment to loving animals or the environment. There's a thousand good reasons why you should, and your health is one of them. But it's also clear that just taking and adapting a diet doesn't make you spiritual. It does, however, affect your vibration and your frequency. If you're eating a lot of meat that's from a slaughterhouse where there's a lot of pain and suffering for the animals and they're lined up and the animals are basically scared and you got all that adrenaline in them and you got all that fear. And when you eat that meat, the meat is enriched with all these last thoughts and adrenaline rushes and all the chemicals in the body at the last time of their existence as they had fear and they were dealing with that. So you're eating the vibrations of that. So I tell people, if you're trying to change your frequency, you're meditating and you're doing all these other things, being a vegetarian helps the frequency, but it doesn't necessarily help make you an ethical or moral or a kind person. That's here and mostly here. So not what you eat, but it's what you digest. Because if you're digesting anger, fear, hate, prejudice, judgments, unforgiveness, these things will outweigh any benefits that you're getting from this vegetarian diet. It's that inner diet that's the most important thing. So I just kind of want to point this out because well, I'm a vegetarian and therefore I'm healthy, therefore I'm spiritual. Well, it's the inner health, the spiritual health is the most important thing. And even the physical health, having done decades as a really uh, active vegetarian, and for a while, about 3 years in a row, as a not even eating dairy or cheese or eggs, being a vegan for a few short years, I found my health had some major issues because I wasn't getting enough protein and I was getting too many carbs. You can't, if you have a diet of rice and all these carb, the potatoes and all these other things, and you're eating cereals and you're drinking fruit juices, you think you're doing really good. And then you find out you get diabetes and heart disease and all these other things. So it's common sense. It's mostly common sense, but it's love. So my thing for you is have a loving diet. And if you are going to eat meat, obviously, if you're out there as a hunter and you're hitting, and you're hunting deer or some game animal, and you're merciful and you're kind and you thank the animal when it's died and you say a prayer like the Native Americans used to do when they went on their hunting trips, you'll find that that's going to be a better vibration coming into you than something from a slaughterhouse. So just saying, there's no perfect diet because each of us is different. We got different requirements. I remember I was with this guru and he told me, he said, you got to eat, you're getting sick. You've had umpteen heart attacks. You've had all these things. I'm telling you, he says, you need a little bit of fish, have a little salmon once in a while, have a little tuna once in a while, maybe a few times a year, have a little bit of chicken or a little bit of turkey. He says, but your body needs more protein. And so I've kind of adapted this logical, common sense diet in the last several years, and I've probably been healthier than I've ever been. But it's not rigid. And it's not an overblown, eating all this stuff. It's really small amounts. The idea again, it's the mind and it's the heart. So always starts with number one premise. If you talk to me, you got to love you. Loving you is a key to your whole diet. And if you don't love other people, you're creating an inner diet of fear, anger, hate. It's very negative. And that'll have greater negative vibrations than anything else. So to choose any diet you want based on your ethics, your morals, your beliefs, your principles. Just be aware that there is no one diet for everybody, but there is love, which affects everybody. So digest love, breathe love, exhale love, inhale love, give love, embrace love. That's the diet. The diet is just love. So anyway, it's not what the person was asking for. They asked me my thoughts on being a vegetarian and thought I was going to come out and endorse it. And I turned on this recorder and I go, in reality, there's much more deeper things involved with this. Not what you eat, but what's eating you. Think about that. God bless. If you like what I'm talking about, please hit subscribe, hit the bell so you know when I got a new one coming out, and love each other. Start with you. Love yourself first. God bless.